Tonight we're diving into one of humanity's oldest fascinations, ghosts. For as long as people have gathered in the dark, we've wondered about what lingers just out of sight, in the places where the light doesn't quite reach. For some, the word brings fear. For others, curiosity. Maybe it's the thrill of the unknown, or the hope that there's more to this world than meets the eye. Either way, ghost stories have a way of bringing us together, even as they send chills down our spines. Ghost stories are woven into every culture, reminders that some tales never fade. They're a thread connecting us to our ancestors, to the mysteries they pondered and the fears they faced. We're about to explore a legend of power, betrayal, and a spirit that still walks the halls of history. This isn't just a ghost story, it's a window into a world where love, loss, and longing echo through the ages. This is the story of a queen whose search for peace echoes through time. Her tale is one of heartbreak and hope, of a restless soul searching for answers in the shadows of her former kingdom.
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
Talking about ghosts taps into something universal. Maybe you felt a chill, seen a flicker, or heard a voice when no one was there. These moments plant the seeds of ghost stories, tiny mysteries that make us wonder. Every culture has its own beliefs about spirits and the afterlife, from Roman lemurs to Chinese ancestor spirits. The idea that the past lingers is as old as humanity itself. Legends say spirits stay behind for many reasons: tragedy, injustice, or love too strong to let go. Haunted places, old houses, battlefields, castles become characters in these stories. They hold an atmosphere, a weight that makes us believe something remains. In these storied places, history and haunting blur, and that's where the most enduring ghost legends are born. Few places are as haunted as the Tower of London. Its stone walls have witnessed centuries of secrets, sorrow, and power. Once a royal palace, fortress, and infamous prison, the tower is thick with history. Many never left its walls, and their stories linger. Among all its ghosts, one stands above the rest, a queen whose rise and fall shook a nation. Her spirit is said to be the most active, seen by guards and visitors alike. She walks the halls where she was queen and prisoner, forever bound to her final days. Her name echoes through history. Anne Boleyn. Her legend is the tower's most enduring shadow. To understand the ghost, you must know the woman. Anne Boleyn was no ordinary figure. Intelligent, ambitious, and captivating. She caught the eye of King Henry VIII, but refused to be just another mistress. Her insistence on marriage led Henry to break from the Catholic Church, changing England forever. For a brief moment, Anne had it all: crown, power, and hope for a son. But she gave birth to a daughter, Elizabeth, and the king's affections soured. Anne's strong will and influence made her powerful enemies. Henry's obsession for a male heir and Anne's defiance set the stage for tragedy. Their love story became a deadly game of politics and betrayal. Anne's fate was sealed by the very ambition that made her queen. Anne Boleyn's fall was swift and merciless. After 3 years as queen, she was accused of adultery, incest, and treason, charges almost certainly fabricated. Her enemies, led by Thomas Cromwell, built a case to destroy her and clear the way for Henry's next marriage. In the paranoid court, a fair trial was impossible. Her fate was decided before it began. On May 19, 1536, Anne faced execution at the Tower. She met her end with dignity, making a brief speech and asking for prayers. A French swordsman delivered the fatal blow. Anne was buried in an unmarked grave within the tower. Her violent, unjust death is the heart of her ghost story. It's said her spirit remains, unable to find peace. Stories of Anne Boleyn's ghost began soon after her tragic execution, and they persist, haunting the imaginations of visitors and historians to this very day. The chilling tales have been whispered through centuries, growing with each retelling. as if the very stones of the Tower of London remember her fate. Anne's spirit is most often seen in the Queen's house, where she once lived, and in the somber chapel where she is buried beneath the cold flagstones. These places, steeped in history and sorrow, seem to echo with her presence, especially on quiet, moonlit nights. Witnesses over the years describe a sorrowful, ethereal figure, gliding silently through the tower's ancient corridors. Some say she moves as if searching for something lost, her face pale and eyes filled with longing. One of the most famous sightings occurred in the 19th century when a guardsman claimed to see a ghostly procession in the chapel, led by a woman unmistakably resembling Anne. The vision was so vivid it left the guard shaken for days. On the anniversary of her execution, her spirit is said to walk solemnly across Tower Green, sometimes, in a truly chilling image, carrying her own severed head. This haunting apparition is said to appear just before dawn, when the air is thick with mist. This disturbing vision has become central to her legend, symbolizing the injustice and tragedy of her fate. The image of Anne, forever restless, lingers in the minds of all who hear her story. But Anne's ghost is not confined to the tower. She is also said to appear at Hampton Court Palace, where she once walked with Henry VIII, and at her childhood home, Hever Castle, where her spirit is seen wandering the grounds. At Hever, the legend says she appears every Christmas Eve, crossing the old stone bridge in sorrow, perhaps longing for the happier days of her youth before her tragic end. These stories, passed down through generations, have made Anne Boleyn one of the world's most famous and enduring ghosts. Her tale is told in books, whispered by candlelight, and painted in the shadows of history. The consistency and frequency of these sightings, reported by people from all walks of life, keep her legend alive, ensuring that Anne Boleyn's spirit will never be forgotten. Anne Boleyn's haunting is more than a ghost story. It's a symbol of injustice and tragedy. Her legend has inspired books, plays, and films, each adding to the myth. She's become a tragic heroine, wronged by power and politics. Visitors to the tower report cold spots, phantom scents, and the feeling of being watched. The facts of her life, her rise, betrayal, and execution give her ghost story weight. Unlike vague rumors, Anne's tale is rooted in history, lending credibility to the supernatural claims. Paranormal investigators have tried to capture evidence, reporting strange voices and unexplained phenomena. Whether or not you believe, these stories keep Anne's memory alive. Her legend endures, fueled by both history and mystery. Ghosts spark a timeless debate, one that has fascinated humanity for generations. From ancient legends whispered around campfires to modern-day ghost hunts broadcast on television, the question remains, are spirits real or just a trick of the mind? Believers see thousands of eyewitness accounts as proof, arguing that science doesn't have all the answers. They collect stories passed down through families and point to mysterious events that defy easy explanation. For them, every chilling tale or unexplained photo is another piece of evidence. They point to theories about energy persisting after death, suggesting hauntings are emotional imprints left behind. Some believe that strong feelings, love, anger, or grief, can echo through time, creating the strange phenomena people report. Skeptics, on the other hand, look for logical explanations, drafts, tricks of the light, or the mind playing games. They argue that what we think we see or hear can often be explained by natural causes or our own expectations. They argue our senses are unreliable, especially in spooky places where fear and imagination can take over. Shadows become figures, and every creak or whisper feels like a sign from beyond. Many people fall somewhere in between, open to the possibility but wanting more proof. They listen to both sides, curious but cautious, hoping for answers that feel just out of reach. Belief in ghosts is personal, shaped by experience and worldview. A strange noise in the night might be a ghost to one person, and just the house settling to another. There's no instrument that can prove or disprove a spirit's existence. Technology can measure temperature, energy, and sound, but the truth remains elusive. The debate continues, as it has for centuries, weaving through cultures and generations. Each era adds new stories, new theories, and new questions. Maybe that's the real magic. The mystery keeps us telling stories, searching for answers, and gathering around the fire. It connects us, sparking wonder and curiosity in the unknown. In the end, it's the questions, not the answers, that endure. The search for truth is what keeps the legend alive. And so, the legend lives on, inviting each of us to wonder, to doubt, and to dream. As the fire's embers fade, Anne Boleyn's story lingers. Whether you believe in her ghost or not, her legend shapes the tower's identity. History isn't just dates, it's people, passions, and tragedies that echo through time. Ghost stories connect us to the past, making history feel immediate and personal. Anne's tale is a form of remembrance, keeping her memory alive. These stories reflect our fears, hopes, and the need for justice. They're timeless, part of our shared heritage. Next time you hear a creak or feel a chill, maybe you'll think of Anne. Every old place has its whispers. If we listen, we might hear them. Thanks for sharing the fire tonight. Sleep well.